Welcome to Mouthful. I'm Lori Lynn Barker. Mouthful is a podcast about food, culture, and the makers in the world. On this episode, I talk with Michael Miscoe with Lilly's Foods. Mouthful is sponsored by CCF Documentation. Let CCF develop your e-learning or instructional video training. From training assessment to course creation and LMS administration, CCF is your one-stop training resource. Check them out at ccfdocumentation.com. Well, it seems that keto is all the rage these days. And if you're a snacker like I am, you're always in search of the perfect snack. Well, one of my go-to snacks is hummus. I love hummus. Well, there's a keto-friendly hummus out there. Lilly's Foods is offering hummus made with cauliflower. Cauliflower happens to be one of my favorite vegetables. I went to the source of this new snack sensation, Michael Miscoe with Lilly's Foods. Michael, can you tell me about Lilly's Foods?
Yes, I certainly can. We started making Lilly's quite by accident in 2003. We were having a dinner party, and Lilly came out and said that we have guests coming over, and there was no appetizers, and she wanted to have the red bell peppers and jalapenos I was barbecuing. And she whipped some hummus up, and the guests went crazy for it and talked about it all night. And I thought, well, let's take it out to the farmer's market and see what happens. And we took it to the farmer's market. People stood in line to get it, and then longer lines, and then stores started to come up and say, hey, we want to carry it. And then all of a sudden distributors did, and we were in more and more stores. And then all of a sudden we were selling all over the country.
And in case we didn't mention it, Lilly's Foods is a hummus company.
I should have mentioned that. Sorry that I did not do that. Yes, we make hummus. We're small batch, handmade, and we've been doing it since 2003. And we in fact just came out with our brand new Keto Hummus, which is made from cauliflower.
And as a small batch company, are you constantly making hummus, or do you have any downtime? Because you have a wide distribution.
We do. We produce 5 days a week, about 11 hours a day. We have a great production crew and a great production boss who really is efficient and can just crank out the hummus in such high volumes. Even with our small batch process, it's really terrific.
Lilly's Foods in your hummus is very conscious about the environment and ecology. Tell us about that. Like, you do a lot of organic, you grow your stuff without pesticides, down to even the wood.
Most definitely. In fact, we love to think we're stewards of the environment. I think that as we move, closer to, having a deadline to fix the world, companies need to be able to say, we need to buy organic things, we need to replant trees and do things that we can do. So here at Lilly's, our campus here is 12 acres, and we have a 3-acre parcel of wetlands where we restored the little wetland forest and has a nice home for trees and plants and animals. That's nice. And of course, making our hummus, we buy organic ingredients. We buy organic garbanzo beans, and we soak them and cook them, and that's what gives us our really creamy, wonderful hummus. And now that we're making our cauliflower keto hummus, we're buying beautiful heads of organic cauliflower, and we're processing them and making just fabulous creamy hummus for an alternative for chickpeas.
And you even go as far as using wood that's only a renewable source.
Thanks for bringing that up. I like to say that we make our briquettes out of the same tree year after year.
Wow! And how does that work?
We make it from hazelnut shells, and we buy the shells and we grind them up and press them into non-charcoal briquettes, and they're beautiful, clean burning, and it's really good and tastes delicious, and it's a really good way to go.
And does it give your roasting a unique flavor? Like when you do roast, like say with a cherry or a cedar, it always infuses into the the food that you're roasting. Does this give it a unique flavor?
It most definitely does. It's the most unique smoky flavor I've ever had.
And there's a picture of it on your website, which is liliesfoods.com. So if people are interested in seeing your little Duralogs, not a Duralog because those are pretty, pretty chemically, but it looks like a little Duralog that you make.
Exactly. In fact, I mean that's a good. That's a good analogy of it. Is it really is, just like a little mini health log, really.
Mm-hmm. Why is your company called Lily's?
Well, my wife is named Lilly.
Okay.
And so she came up with the recipes. She's been a driving force, and without her, there wouldn't be Lily's.
Okay, so here's a question for you. You do a chickpea hummus, and now you're doing a cauliflower hummus, a keto-friendly hummus. I assume that chickpeas were keto-friendly. They're not keto-friendly?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that they're a legume, and they have a certain amount of carb level that really doesn't allow for that the keto diet. It's too many carbs. That's why we started making the cauliflower. Well, the reason why we actually started making the cauliflower was because we were having a meeting, and a couple of the guys in the office were saying, "Oh, we can't have the hummus anymore." And I said, "That's what we make here." And
right.
They said, "Well, on the keto diet." And I said, "What's that?" And then Lily said, "Oh, I've been making Michael this cauliflower dip for years." And they said, "Well, that's keto." And she brought some in, and then we whipped 4 flavors up and just said, "This is great. Let's show it off and start selling it."
Cauliflower is one of my favorite vegetables.
It's so good for you.
And it's so good for you.
Too.
And I've noticed that there's a trend in cauliflower right now because you've got the cauliflower pizzas as far as even going to restaurants, and they're serving it as an appetizer when they're roasting the whole head.
I was at a restaurant just recently, and they had it as a main course.
It's amazing. I love cauliflower. I can't eat it raw though, and that's TMI. But I can't eat it raw because it doesn't like me. But you can cook it up, you can roast it, you can do it, and I'll just have fun with it.
It's so versatile. I mean, you can do all kinds of great stuff with it. I mean, like for example, for an appetizer, taking some of our like just say for example, you take our ranch dill, the keto cauliflower ranch dill, and get some hard-boiled eggs, cut them in half, take the yolk out, mix it in with the keto hummus, and then put it back on the little egg boat, and you've got yourself keto delicious
deviled eggs. One of the things that I like to do with hummus, and I'm going to have to try it now with the cauliflower hummus, is I love to make tuna fish sandwiches with hummus.
Oh, it's perfect for that. You will love it. Lily makes that all the time.
And a lot of people wouldn't think of doing that. And I didn't think about doing it with deviled eggs, and now I've got to do it with deviled eggs. It's
so fun, and we've got such, the turmeric makes a really neat color and a good flavor, and it's super good for you. And in fact, I think that turmeric means what is good for your skin.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with turmeric because it seems to be all the rage, but I haven't really done much research on it.
Yeah, it's good for you, and it's therapeutic.
Your items are found in stores all across the country, correct?
They certainly are. And in your neck of the woods, you can find them at King Supers and Natural Grocers. You can find them at Alfalfa's. There's so many great stores you guys have.
And if people go to your website, which is liliesfoods.com, you've got a Find Us tab, so you can just type in your information and they'll tell you where it's available near you.
Most definitely. Come visit us on the website and figure out which store has it in your neck of the woods.
Well, tell me all the flavors that you have in the keto cauliflower hummus.
So we have our classic, which is cauliflower and tahini forward, and then we have my personal favorite, which is the ranch dill, and it is a wonderful array of fabulous herbs and spices with dill and just a bevy of delicious flavors. And then we have our buffalo, which is spicy and delicious and just so much fun. And then we have our turmeric, which is super delicious, super good for you, and so versatile.
And then tell me what kind of regular or chickpea hummus that you have.
We have a ton of flavors. We have our classic, which is a real standby for just good, basic, delicious hummus. And then we have our very first one we ever made, which was our roasted red bell pepper. And then we have our roasted jalapeno. We have Kalamata olive, delicious Kalamata olive. We have smoked tomato and basil. We have a black bean, which is a blend of black bean and chickpeas. It gives it a little lighter feel. Black beans can be pretty heavy. And then we also have a sriracha. We have a cracked pepper, which is super delicious. I love the cracked pepper one. And we're always looking to add more. We've got some new ones on the horizon. We just haven't. We've been so busy with the keto, we haven't had time to get new ones out, new regular hummuses out.
And you have recipes available on your website. So when we're talking about the deviled eggs and the tuna fish, that people can actually go to your website and look at the recipes.
Most definitely. Yeah, we have some fun recipes. We have we have some vegetarian recipes. We have some omnivore recipes. So we're really trying to cover all bases, because, everybody wants to, kind of experiment with food and let's try something new. Let's see what's fun to cook with. And Lilly's really lets you do that. Be able to, use it as a soup thickener or make tacos with it or, use it for sandwiches. There's all kinds of great stuff.
And one of the nice things about your company is you're a small batch company. Tell me what a small batch means.
Well, small batch really is a real focus on detail, and a small batch really lets you do that. So we have small steam jacketed kettles that cook our beans in a small amount, and then we put them into a small mixer and put our ingredients in, and really can focus on the quality of that very small batch.
And I just love the concept of small batch, because what small batch to me means is that you can buy, like say, go to buy your classic hummus one week, and the next week I go to buy it, and it's going to have a completely different taste.
It is. I mean, what we have, we try to be as consistent as we can, but you're going to have some variety in the product itself when you're talking about, handmade small batch. There's no question about that.
And what other items do you carry? Or do you create, I should ask?
Oh, yes. Well, we're going to be showing off our sunflower spread at Expo West. We're very excited about that.
And when do you expect that to be released?
That should start going out in February. Mm-hmm. And then we can really start we'll have it out in February, show it off in March, and really kind of feel like we'll be able to get some real good exposure right after that.
And sunflower spread is amazing.
And it's everybody's going nutty for nuts. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants the nut spreads, and I love them. I mean, I love nuts. I love almonds, but almonds are incredibly incredible water hogs.
Right.
A sunflower is water friendly. It's good for you.
They're pretty.
There's so much benefit for that.
One of the things I've noticed on your website is one of the flavors of your sunflower spread is chocolate. And I love chocolate and sunflower seeds together. I like anything with chocolate, but I really like chocolate and sunflower seeds. And my father-in-law found that out. He had never heard of that combination before. And then he found out that was one of my favorite flavors. So every time he traveled, he always come back with chocolate-covered sunflower seeds for me.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So I turned everybody on to the taste of sunflower seeds and chocolate. What are some other things that you carry?
Well, we also started making salsa. And we do a really thick, wonderfully thick and delicious salsa in 4 varieties. We have our mango, we have pineapple, we have our regular tomato one, and then we have our black bean and corn.
And do you cook your salsas, or are they the kind that simmer, or not simmer, but marry, and you make them raw, and then you just allow them to marry?
We definitely cook them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because we roast our vegetables, and we like to have it cooked. Because for me, I think the best salsas are that thicker, just fill the whole chip up and eat it. That's what I love.
Mm-hmm. And you can also put that on eggs.
Oh, eggs.
And tuna fish.
Make an omelet with it. And nachos are fabulous. And it's really great to, what's really great to do with it is to take some, I'm going to say ground buffalo, because you guys have Ted Turner's buffaloes up there.
Well, actually, we're in Montana, but we do have a buffalo ranch here ran by Bob Beaupre, who used to be.
Do you really?
Yeah. And buffalo is very popular in Colorado. Well, it's one of my favorite meats.
Very good for the environment.
Right.
I mean, buffalo could save our plains.
That and yak. And we do have yak here, but I haven't seen it in the stores. We do have lots of yaks here.
Oh, do you really?
And I believe they're here because of their fiber.
Oh.
They're being raised for their fiber, and a yak fiber is amazing. But they're also one of those animals that could save the planet, like you are calling buffalo, because they don't take up as much room, they don't eat as much, they're smaller. You can use more items on them, the meat, milk, fur, or fiber. So yeah, yaks are becoming very popular here too.
Oh, that's neato.
So,
such a neat name too, yak.
I know. So look for yaks everywhere.
What kind of pet do you have? A yak.
Yak. Yeah, and it's funny because you'll drive around in the farming communities in Colorado, and there's so many not exotic animals. We do have an exotic animal rescue here in Colorado, but you'll be driving down the street and you'll see like a field of zebras, and you're like, what do you do with zebras?
Well, that's neato.
And then, of course, emus and ostriches, yaks, llamas, alpacas. So, yeah, we like all of our little bizarre things out here. But they're adaptable here. It's not like we're taking them and putting them in an environment that they're not used to.
My grandfather was from Lamar,
mm-hmm.
and when he was a boy, they were cattle ranchers, and when he was a boy, there was a little runt pig that was going to be put down, and he grabbed him and hid him up in his room.
Oh, just like Charlotte's Web?
Mm-hmm. And he was his best little friend until he went away to college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was great. He said he was smart, and he fetched and was everything.
Yeah, that's funny because, that's what they say about pigs. I know we have people here who actually travel with them and perform with them.
Yeah, and he never ate a piece of pork or bacon or anything for his whole life.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be like eating your friend.
Yeah, exactly. He would love the steak, though.
He didn't have a pet cow. Here's a little fun fact. So yaks are they can live in this environment or at this altitude because yaks are very popular in Mongolia. And this is the weird fun facts that you carry in your head. You can't remember where you put your keys, but you can remember these little fun facts. That Mongolia and Colorado have the same kind of weather and, the terrain and everything. So they're very similar. They're very similar. And
don't you guys get like 300 days of summer?
300 days of sunshine. Yes, we do.
Whiz. I mean, we get in Oregon, Portland here, we get 3 days of sun.
Doesn't have quite the ring.
Yeah.
But we also have the largest Mongolian population here outside of Mongolia.
Well, that's incredible.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? And the reason being is because a lot of Mongolians come here to Colorado School of Mines to study because we're so similar.
Oh, that's
little fun fact.
Neato.
Little fun fact in case you want to wow and impress your friends.
Yeah.
So that's why you see yaks here too, is because they.
Is that Colorado State University?
No, as Colorado School of Mines.
Oh, is it? Okay, Colorado School of Mines. My grandfather went to Colorado State University.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got some good schools here, but they specifically
do.
come over here because of Colorado School of Mines, and they learn about, the mining and the mountains and geology and stuff like that. So a little fun fact.
That's super fun to learn.
So anyway, let's go back to your product.
Perfect.
And our listeners are going to be going, wow, I didn't know that about Mongolia.
Yeah.
So are there anything other than the sunflower spread that's on the horizon?
No, I mean that's a big handful right now. I mean, it's amazing, how much stuff it takes to put, a high quality, handmade item out. As I mean, that's what you deal with all the time. You talk to, entrepreneurs and small businesses all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine how busy you are. Did you see yourself being this large, or was it just something like, I really like your hummus, honey, let's see if we can make it? Or was this something that was one of your goals, is to be as large as you are?
We didn't have any idea what we were doing, what we were getting into, or what it was going to turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was just let's see what kind of fun we can do with it, and then all of a sudden it just started growing and growing and growing, and it was just incredible.
And if people want more information about your product, where do they go?
Go to lillysfoods.com.
And I like the fact that, once again, you're small batch, but you're also keto friendly.
We definitely are. We're really, poised to let keto people have a really delicious dip that they can, live on. In fact, we love Flackers crackers, and I always tell people that you could live on Flacker crackers and Lilly's keto.
I don't know what Flacker crackers are.
It's just crackers made of flax seeds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're delicious.
Yeah, I think I've had those before because I have friends who don't eat flour.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're always giving those to me, and I actually really enjoy them. I like seeds, though. I like, I've always liked like sunflower seeds and granola and stuff like that, oatmeal, barley. So stuff like that, it's right up my alley.
Yeah, that's fun. It's amazing how many great foods we have. It's just we're so lucky to be living in the time that we are.
Right. Do you have a social media presence?
I think we do. I personally, I can barely turn a computer on.
Okay.
I mean, I do know that we have. You
do have an Instagram.
I know that we do. I just don't know, anything about it.
You do have an Instagram, so people can follow you.
On Instagram.
You can follow. They can follow you on Instagram. It looks like a lot of people do post what they have done with it. And here's an interesting thing I just saw somebody do. They put it on their baked potato.
Oh yeah, baked potatoes are great for that. You know what I think that our hummus and our keto hummus are fabulous alternatives for, sour cream and butter and
mayonnaise
and mayonnaise. So many things that you would be using that you could have this on. It's quite wonderful.
And you're also on Facebook. So if people need to find out any more information, they can also find you on Facebook, and that's Lilly's Foods.
I think there's there must be some other ways to do it, too. I think Facebook and Twitter, and there's some other things.
Pinterest, you are available on
Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Okay,
and so people can look for you and post all kinds of pictures of hummus all over your boards.
Yeah.
So people can look for you online, which is lillysfoods.com, and they can also look for you on the social platforms.
Wonderful. Well, you can see how hip I am about.
Well, you're small batch. You're more into let me go out into the forest and be with my animals in my wetlands. So exactly. I understand.
In fact,
totally.
I was out the other day, and there was the most beautiful woodpecker I'd ever seen in my life, and it was so quiet down there, and he was pecking on a tree, and it was just resonating through the whole place. It was really wonderful.
Nice. And you have pictures of your wetlands on your website.
Oh, okay, that's great. I'm glad we do.
Thank you to Michael Miscoe with Lily's Foods. For more information, please visit their website at lillysfoods.com. That's LILLYS foods.com. And also look for them on social media. I know that I will be trying the recipe for deviled eggs real soon. Mouthful is sponsored by CCF Documentation. Whether you want to train your employees or teach your customers how to properly use your equipment or product, or you are wanting to market your expertise to the world, online training is fast becoming one of the most sought-after forms of training in the business world today. Providing flexibility as well as consistency, e-learning will get your new hires or customers trained faster and with less resources. At CCF Documentation, we provide customized e-learning solutions geared to proactively and efficiently train your employees or customers with measurable training outcomes. To maximize your training effectiveness, contact CCF Documentation at ccfdocumentation.com. If you are interested in being a guest or you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at mouthfulthepodcast@gmail.com. And you can also look for me on all the social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Pinterest. So look for me on all of those platforms. With Mouthful, I'm Lori Lynn Barker. Stay fresh, cheese bags.